I have a confession. There are certain things within the landscaping industry that drive me absolutely insane. And over the years, I've developed some opinions that definitely go against the grain. Now, whether I'm right or wrong, that's for you to decide. But today, I'm finally putting them out there. As a landscape designer, these are some of my hottest takes on our industry. Let's get started. All right, number one is a bombshell. We're gonna get started with one that I think is pretty hot and high on my list. 90% of landscapers aren't designers. I know, I said it. But hear me out. I've seen way too many landscapers that go around and they say, I design, we're a design firm, we do this, we do that. They overpromise and underdeliver. And honestly, it's all right. It's nothing personal. The problem is that if you're telling clients that you can design and then all you're doing is going to a nursery and picking stuff out and just putting it in the ground, there's a lot of design concepts that actually go into being a designer. Number one, can you actually produce something that the client can visually see and understand? What does that even mean? Well, when we produce a design, we do a top-down view and we show the client in full color and in full scale what that's gonna look like. We have a plotter, we have big blueprints that we print out and we show our clients. We give them the visuals for them to understand what it's gonna look like before we even started. Number two, most $1 million homes have terrible landscaping. I know, the house is $1 million and it's a crazy expensive home, and it is because it's either location or because of the interior. But if your landscaping looks shabby, if it looks run down, if it looks like you don't care, then what are you doing? And I've seen way too many people with great taste for the interior with terrible taste for the exterior. So I don't know why it's become a thing, but that kind of leads me to my next point, which is people don't focus as much on the exterior as they do on the interior. And it's a big mistake. I can't tell you how many countless times we've gone to a project and the client has been like, I just remodeled the inside of my home and I spent $50,000 remodeling the inside. We did the kitchen, we did the bathrooms, we did this, we did that. It's beautiful. Absolutely love it. Stunning, gorgeous. But then when you ask them, okay, beautiful, so what are we looking to do on the outside? Their response is, well, just a couple bushes, spruce things up. Well, what's the budget? We have about $4,000 to $5,000 to do on an entire landscape. That makes no sense. I don't understand it. I really don't. And I'm not sure if it's something within our industry where there's so much competition that people are giving out these incredibly low prices, or if it's simply because it's a misunderstood industry because plants are, I guess, readily available. I'm not really sure, but either way, I think it's a huge mistake. If the front doesn't match the back.
What do you mean by that?
Then, I don't get it. The outside has to match the inside. Number four is one that just kind of drives me insane, and I see it all day, every day. And it's, I don't want mulch. I installed rock because I want to set it and forget it. I understand the thought process and the theory behind that, but the issue is rock has its specific uses, and it's not necessarily meant to be used all over. It does look good. There's some granite rocks, there's some marble rocks that just look beautiful. They look stunning, but it's not necessarily meant to cover everything. I think mulch has its uses. Pine straw, pine bark has its beautiful uses, but oftentimes I'll see clients that just put rock everywhere because they don't want to have to keep doing it. The maintenance cost is too much, or it's sometimes just a laziness thing. I'm not saying that that's wrong. I'm just saying that rock has its place, and to me, it's not meant for absolutely everywhere, the set it and forget it type of thing. I don't know. I personally don't like it, but maybe that's just me. You tell me. That does lead me to my next point though, and it's about rock. Number five, white marble rock is gorgeous when recently installed. After that, it gets ugly after the first couple months, after the first year. White marble rock is gorgeous. It really is. It has like, it shimmers in the sun and it looks really, really nice. But after you have a couple seasons of rain or a rainy season, things get dirty. When the sun beats on it and it rains and what have you, it just looks so dirty. I don't understand the big hype behind the marble rock. And it's gotten so expensive that I really can't stand behind why it's just so expensive and why everyone and their friends and neighbors wants it. Number 6, I know a lot of you out there are gonna feel this as soon as I say it. I'm sorry. Clusias, they're gorgeous, but my God, are they overused. I love them and I install them all day, but I just feel like they're overused. Everyone, I see them all over Naples. I've seen them all over Sanibel. I've seen them all over Cape Coral, Fort Myers, all the way to Punta Gorda. I've seen them in Tampa, everywhere. Everyone has clusias. It's a great hedge. And when planted, it's tremendous for privacy. It really is. But it seems like everyone has them nowadays. They're very thick and they're luscious and they're great. But man, it just gets so repetitive when you see them over and over and over and over again. And then every client tells me,
hey, you know that plant that you can like write your name on, otherwise known as like the autograph plant?
yeah, I know exactly which one it is. It's the Clusia. I see them all day, sell them and install them all day. I like them, but man, are they overused. Number 7, you're doing way too much with your landscape lighting. My hot take. Landscape lighting is supposed to be a very like delicate process. It's give and take. It's a dance. It's a beautiful dance with your palms, with your landscape. When we do landscape lighting, there's certain elements and focal points that we highlight. And that's the way that I see that landscape lighting should be done. It shouldn't be something where you try to light up the entire garden and create an artificial sun over that property. I think that's wrong. And way too often I see in other landscapes that people just install lights all over the place and try to light up the entire property. I think you should focus on what you want to light up and then just do that. Because I think that that's the proper way to do it. Number 8, I feel like the landscaping industry is like 20 years behind the rest of the world. Anytime I talk to potential clients, their view on landscaping is outdated, from prices to process. It just feels outdated. You ask a client, well, what's your budget like? They have no idea. And then when you kind of give them what the cost of hardscape materials is, of landscape materials, that sticker shock, you could see it come over their face. And I think that it's just so far behind everything else. I mean, when COVID hit, we were all aware that prices of homes went up, prices of cars, there were shortages everywhere, and so on and so forth. But I feel like from even the prices, people still think that plants are $3 to $5, $6. I mean, there's some plants that we install that they're specialty plants that are over $100 for a small plant. I mean, there's nothing that we can do. Prices have gone up, and I feel like the industry is so far behind when it comes to that. And then even from the process, the way that we do things is we have integrated AI to streamline things within our business. We integrated drone usage. We now use drones to take pictures, to put things in perspective and scale, to visualize, create renderings for our clients to be able to visualize what their project is going to look like. Even with the way that we now take meetings, whether it's virtually or whether we calculate online using programs like Google Maps where you can kind of map out and take measurements like that. I just feel like you see other landscapers and it's such a painful process. And with us, it's not like that. Like even on our maintenance side for our company, we send reports, but they're not like handwritten reports. It's full details reports with pictures, with just the full process of like what our crew did, when did they show up, how long they were there, so on and so forth. it's just like we have tried as a company to advance and catch up to the year that we're in, the 21st century, you know? I feel like a lot of people haven't done that. Again, I've seen people give quotes and give drawings on a napkin, you know? I just feel like it's 20 years behind and it's about time that we catch up. Number 9 is ChatGPT. It just drives me insane. Now, don't get me wrong, ChatGPT is great and it has its uses, but not for everything. I can't tell you how insane it is, some of these renderings that our clients come up with, and we get plants that don't exist. We get designs for these wild things that grow everywhere and just look insane, have a bunch of colors and this and that. And I'm even impressed with those renderings. I'm like, wow, where can I get some of those? But it's so fake, it doesn't exist. And then when you under deliver, again, quote unquote, when you under deliver because that's not the expectation that they had because ChatGPT hyped it up so much, it just, again, you under deliver. And the client feels that. And then I feel that. But the important part about that is kind of like managing expectations. And that's one of the things that we try to do. We try to manage expectations for our clients. On initial consultations, what we do is we tell our clients, show us any renderings or any, like a vision board that you have. Some people have them, some people don't. But when they pull out the ChatGPT pictures, that's my first sign to essentially let them know, hey, listen, this plant doesn't exist. This plant does not come in this color. These plants don't grow like this. Those palms don't exist. And then I kind of walk them through what everything is and give them that foundation, that knowledge for them to understand what they're actually going to be getting. And I feel like that's a very important part of the process from initial consultation up until the last bit of mulch is installed or whatever hardscape it is. You have to streamline things and manage expectations for your clients. That's the only way to keep an honest business. And my last one, and this is a big one for some of the landscapers out there that might be watching, my hot take: stop copying each other's landscape styles. Ouch, I know, I get it. Doing social media is something that I love to do, and as our company has grown and expanded, it's become a tool that I often use to get our work out there and also to view other people's work, right? Like, who doesn't? I'm on Instagram all the time. I'm on TikTok, and I love seeing what other people are creating. That doesn't mean that I have to one for one copy their work. Our company and our designers have a certain style that we call the coastal style. And it's quite popular here in the area. I mean, I'm not saying that just because you use certain plants, you're copying my style or I'm copying yours or so on and so forth. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying you have to be original. It's okay to try to take ideas. It's okay to try to see what other people are doing and try to implement that in your own version of it. But ripping someone else's design off almost one for one is not the way to go about it. And I've seen that way too many times. They say imitation is the most sincere form of flattery, but I don't know. It's kind of like a double-edged sword because it's like, oh wow, they liked my work so much that they copied it and pasted it, but it's like, have some originality, you know? Like, not everything has to be exactly my style. I've taken inspiration from other people's work. Who hasn't? It's a part of it, right? In any industry, if you're in the construction industry, you see a house that you like, you see a building, you might take certain concepts from them, but that's not okay to just rip someone else's work off. Specifically, if they designed a style for themselves that kind of gives people that feel every time they drive by, they see that style and they say, oh wow, that was designed by Creative Lawn and Landscapes. Oh wait, no, it wasn't. It was by so-and-so. Have your own originality, have your own style, design your way and get known and brand your company your way. That's the only way to make it. Because at some point you're going to get caught out for copying other people and it's not going to go well. So those were my top hot takes for our industry. Let me know down below whether you agree with them or whether you don't, and it's okay. We'll still be friends. I'll see you guys later.